welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy presents our MLB DFS hitter picks for Friday, June 2nd, 2017. I'm going to give you 3 hitters I really like in tournament play tonight. They're going to be expensive, which is something we don't always try to do, and it doesn't really help the situation that there is a ton of expensive pitching tonight, but this is the route I'm choosing to go for today. I don't actually mind some of the cheaper pitching. I think you can definitely find ways around the whole expensive pitching tonight to diversify your lineup. So let's start things out with Matt Kemp going up against Bronson Arroyo in the Great American Small Park. Arroyo, 379 WOBA, 45% fly ball rate, 35.9% hard contact against righties, with Kemp being the biggest hitter now on the Braves lineup, moving into a positive park shift. You got to have some exposure to him tonight. I could see him taking Arroyo deep. And then even though the Cincinnati bullpen isn't as bad as it was last year, it still isn't anything to write home about. So I like the upside for Kemp. And a lot of the other Braves tonight, I think they'll be kind of one of my sneakier stacks that I don't think will really be that sneaky. I think a lot of that's just probably in my head because the Braves are a poor lineup to begin with. They're moving to a, let me rephrase that. They're a poor but frustrating lineup because they can somehow cobble together runs, moving to a more positive park. Maybe their ownership will be a little bit higher than I think it will. I'll have to do some investigating to see what the talking heads out there are going after tonight. Moving on from there, Souza Jr., 9,900 fantasy draft, 3,900 FanDuel, 5,100 on DraftKings. That's a big price. Taking on Christian Bergman, who's been relatively all over the place this year. Hasn't had a lot of action. I think 5 appearances in games, maybe only 3 starts. Rays, frustrating as well. The output for the Rays tonight will be somewhere between 0 and 10, and it'll probably focus more towards those extremes and falling somewhere in the middle. One thing that Bergman has shown, even though we can't trust his stats fully, is that thus far he's shown a proclivity for both high fly ball totals and hard contact. So that's not a good combination against a team like the Rays, who have guys like Dickerson. Kiermaier has found his power stroke. Longoria is going to wake up from the dead eventually. Souza, Beckham. There's a lot of guys on here that can take the ball deep. I just like Souza the most tonight, so he's going to be someone I have in a ton of my lineups. My favorite play on the night is going to be Joey Votto taking on Mike Foltynewicz. Again, we're going to go back to the well with the Great American Ballpark. Foltynewicz, 389 WOBA, 38% fly ball rate, 35% hard contact. So he actually doesn't have those ridiculous, horrible numbers like some of the other guys have on this slate. But that still is bad. That's not good. It's just not as great by comparison. But when you're talking about taking on a guy like Votto, who's such a skilled hitter, and you're struggling with left-handed hitting, to me, this is a lock and load if I can figure out a way to build him in with all these high prices, and I will. I think he's an excellent option for tournaments. Wouldn't shock me if he came up with one of the biggest scores of the night. That'll wrap it up for us today. 3 of our favorite tournament batters. Let's go with Matt Kemp, Souza, Joey Votto. Thanks for watching today. Make sure to head over to researchfantasy.com. Check out what we got going on there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel below. Head over to Facebook. Like us at Research Fantasy. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. I know I've said a lot in a short span of time, but thank you for following, and we'll see you again tomorrow.